do we feel the song without being heavy and feeling it get heavy into the legs?
Song has nothing to do with going down to the ground. Okay? And it's a big misconception. So there's a difference between heaviness and sinking. I want to apply heaviness outside the body. I don't want to feel heavy inside. Qigong, right? The sword stepping. You should be able to be light on your feet. Okay? But at the same time, feel heavy to somebody. I don't care what style you're doing. You need to be able to pick your foot up. Okay? And still have all those conditions met. Okay? So wherever it is, I have to be able to pick my foot up with no problem. I shouldn't have to do much shifting. So this concept of sinking, get rid of it. It's only going to hurt you. It's only going to delay your progress. Right? Constantly feeling my feet grinding into the floor. Gotta get lower. Gotta get heavier. Gotta get heavier. Gotta get heavier. I'm thinking, like, I'm making me heavier. Cats don't move like that, right? I need to make my paw heavier. To say that we don't have tension in the body is erroneous. The goal is to have postural muscles, what we call tonic muscle, take over the generalized work. And postural muscles are the ones you use every single day when you're standing, when you're walking. You don't feel that. You don't feel fascia. You don't feel your postural muscles. You don't really constantly control them in the way you think you do. So the idea is to get to a point where I'm so soft and relaxed that it's really just, I'm using my normal standing posture muscles. They don't get tired. I don't feel them that often. And that's where that release comes from, right? So we're talking about the big muscles, phasic muscles. We want to relax those and then use the ligament and tendon or iron wire, as they would say. We use all the tendons and ligaments and sinew to get the body to stretch and hold. Fascia is the surrounding tissues that bind those together and give them shape and interconnect them. So we move the fascia by moving the ligaments and tendons. That's what we have control over. Most people in the old days were constantly working in fields or some kind of manual labor. They weren't sitting as much. So they don't have the problems of the modern people where we're forced to sit in chairs that are not ergonomically correct for humans, walking in shoes that are not ergonomically correct for humans. So it tends to put our spine and our body in very strange positions. What that tends to do is create atrophy in the transverse abdominis muscle.
And Damian was shocked by how weak my abs actually were. He had an assumption that my abs and my core were very strong.
When you're practicing in this wushu style or like the park people style, and you're never pressure testing it, you're not doing it for a goal that it has to work or you can die, you can get away with a lot of bad things. The body wants to run away from stress and from pain. So you can do on the outside, look at the same alignment, right? But your body's going to want to find a way to cheat and reserve resources. And from the outside, it may look the same. But on the inside, you can be twisted and not really notice. And a little 5 degrees of twist can make a big difference in how much activation you have. You also have to see, when people are doing form, you're going to see that bones get left behind. And you have the swaying effect. And you see this will turn into this, where there's no lateral stability in the spine. If you move like that, your Tai Chi doesn't work. It just can't. It just can't work. You need a certain amount of core stability, called dynamic stability. When I'm doing all these Tai Chi tricks, I'm looking at it from this method, right? If I can press the bone, when I have that compression, when I have that blood comes out, when I open the mouth is what's shooting me off. It's an elastic collision combined with a hydraulic pneumatic spring. That's how I'm able, when someone touches, or they touch me or I touch them, they hit this structure, which is the 5 bows. Now, if they come in from the bottom in the mouth, I swallow them in the mouth. That takes the blood and pushes it down. Basically, my pelvic diaphragm gets pushed down, pushes the blood down from inside the legs. That comes back on the back. And then it shoots over the arrows. It should be yang, yin. This is kind of more released than this side, but they're both not 100%. So I can shake this a little bit, but it's still kind of active. Whereas this is still more solid. It's like a 70-30 thing. So if this side is 30% activated, that allows the blood from the femoral artery to pass through. And so you have the brachial artery coming to the femoral artery. And that's the blood bag thing. There are a lot of mistranslations of softness and sinking and heaviness and relaxing. It's not relaxed, okay? You're a bone puppet. If you were to completely relax, all of your bones would fall to the ground. In order for me to be standing up, there must be tension, okay? But if you listen to the classics, it says ligaments and sinew and tendons and ligaments and bones. They're talking about getting the iron wires, the tendons, okay, very strong, and then the big muscles to relax, right? But I don't want to say relax. We just want to say make them inactive. They're not in the way. Because this idea of relaxing, an idea of soft is not correct. Just by looking at Tai Chi, the symbol of Tai Chi, it's 50-50, right? Of active and passive. So it's teaching you from the symbol, it can't be completely relaxed. I want you to feel sturdy. I want you to feel what's called dynamic stability. I want you to feel when you go and you push a shopping cart, you immediately feel stable before you even activated the muscle. You touch it, you can feel the bristle of the foot, and then you can lean and use your body weight. And then if you want from there, then you can use muscle. Okay? But it's the idea of what is this relaxation? What is this song? And there's so many misconceptions that people want to do it for 20 years and they don't get any ability.
This has been so core to my own training. I didn't think that I would be able to do push-in at all. Like, I was told that it's not for me. And Damian said from day one of our training, like, so it's been a year now, and Damian told me from day one he was going to help me achieve 3 things. 1 was he was going to fix my knees. 2 was that he would be able to extend my career, get me stronger than I've ever been in my life. Even though I'm 50 now, like, my conditioning and strength is stronger than it's ever been. And that will extend my professional career by 10 years. And then the 3rd thing was that he was going to get me to launch some guys.
Launch mofos. And I think we're almost there, like obviously when we're doing the demos and the lessons, I'm just, making myself a heavy bag. I'm trying to give her something to throw. But I do weigh 200 pounds. Okay, I do right now probably like 205 or something. So she actually is moving 200 pounds. Yes, I'm just holding myself there and making myself, I'm leaning. Some probably more than 200 pounds. That's not pushing into her. But she's actually pushing the thing, So she's definitely done a real, very good progression. I gotta be honest, like, I was surprised because I knew I'd be able to fix her knees, but I thought it would take a lot longer. It was somewhere around the 12th week. Something happened where something opened up, and her knees were like balls of water. I've never seen anything like it. And they just started to drain. And now she has normal knees, which is, I figured it would take longer. I was actually impressed with myself. Happy New Year, guys. I'll see you in 2025. It's a pleasure. I appreciate you guys. Take care, everybody at home.